gentlemen. Hey, congratulations for your film, Inside.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, man. What's the name of the cat? Groucho?
This cat's named Nina. Nina.
Nina, all right.
Beautiful cat.
Beautiful cat, yeah.
Terrific. Thank you. Now, I enjoy this film. I feel like the whole film is a wonderful piece of art. So let's start off with the obligatory question we have to ask is where the original idea came from for this very unique film.
The original idea came from my visit to this beautiful city that we are now, New York, and being from a country that we don't have such big buildings and skyscrapers. When I first came here, I got really overwhelmed by this, but also I have this funny thought that what if you are trapped in one of these penthouses on the top of these buildings and nobody can listen to you? So what someone could do? So I wanted to put the elements also of the premise of Robinson Crusoe, that I want to make a film that it would be, my character would be hard to find water and food, and also instead of being being exposed to natural elements, I want to put these natural elements inside the place, and also for him to be able to see life passing by from his windows, but he cannot reach. Everything is so close and everything is so far away. Instead of being a lonely island that that nothing can pass by, only maybe one boat in the horizon.
So you saw this more of a survival movie rather than a prison break, right?
I would say no to both of them. I mean, I think the beginning is a survival movie. For me, it's more esoteric. It's more about a person that comes in terms of what he needs in life when the basic things are scarce, like food, water, and be surrounded by luxury as well. So you have all these very, very expensive objects of design, and also this amazing art collection surrounded. So at the end of the day, you were inside a golden cage. How much necessary are all these for your survival? So yeah, I think it's not. Yeah,
it's a little bit of everything, basically. I mean, it's and that's the beauty of it. It is a survival film.
Yes,
but it's but it has so many elements and so many, the situation make you think of so many things, because when you put it in the remote island, it's so straightforward and it's survival, bye. But when you put it in the middle of the metropolis, you can understand first of all that we have built our own lonely islands, in the cities, and on the other side that we have technology, how much technology help us to be together or alienate us, or how it can work against us. And then you have the idea of wealth, the moment that you just need the basics. What is the use of it? So it's so many elements. And for me, this is what I like to call, an elevated story. You take a concept, a story that has been told before, but you put it in a new context, and it becomes, and it gets so much more value and so many more narrative threads that it just becomes so extremely original and so fresh. This is, yeah.
Most excellent. I'm going to bring Leonardo in here. Leonardo, congratulations on the beautiful art pieces into a film like this. But why did you want to use real art into something like this? You could have just made anything, and the audiences could have just been fooled.
I think in the vision of a
It's not fooled. It's not fooled. Things like that.
We wanted to be the most real before Leonardo
Yes.
starts. The mandate of this film, we were saying with Vasilis, the best, the more knowledgeable people of art on this planet should watch our film and they should believe it. And believe it means it's a coherent collection and the pieces are extremely valuable.
And legit.
Because that's why they can really feel, oh, what is happening there? Or they can understand all the connotations that Leonardo has helped us put together. Sorry, Leonardo.
No. I think I'm glad you're saying this. I mean, the art collection is composed by replicas where the works could not be placed in a context in which, of course, most of them get destroyed. The real artworks, because there are real artworks, that some of which were actually commissioned for the film, were a decision that we took together, because I think what is really interesting about this opportunity is to explore the generative possibilities that the encounter between these two worlds, art and cinema, can generate. And so commissioning works for the film would create an opportunity, as much as you have when you do an exhibition, for an artist to think out of their box, think what would it mean for my work to enter the creative narrative or the creative vision of someone else, which of course is Vasilis. So I think in that sense, some of the works, for example, the moth costume that Willem is wearing, that is an original artwork, and I find quite interesting that it's there because in the vision of the artist, he's called Petri Talilai, he's an artist from Kosovo. He showed those works at the Hammer Museum in LA. Because they're performative costumes, the usage or the damages that they absorb while being used become part of the artwork. So somehow the history of that work being in the film will become forever part of the legacy and the life of that work. So for the original works in the film is because works that could somehow handle the pressure, sometimes even physical, of the film. We all know what, the difference between a replica in anything, not only in art, between a replica and an original. So I think in that sense, it was really the intention to push the boundaries of what was possible within the film context in order to have original works.
So is destruction art to you guys?
It's construction through destruction, in a way, maybe.
I don't think that I mean, it was a moment with Leonardo that we were talking about. I mean, starting Nemo to destroy art, and Leonardo told me, the only people that destroyed art were the Nazis. So we have to be careful of how the Nemo is treating art. And I think Nemo, he doesn't destroy them. Nemo using them and to survive. It's a big difference to that. He doesn't go to vandalize them.
The conversation with Vasilis was always, and Giorgos was always the idea that if an artwork gets damaged in the film, it's because it's an absolute necessity. So if he's using the pointed sculpture of Lynn Chadwick to open the cellar, the fridge, it's because there's nothing else that can do that. And I think in that sense, this is again where it's interesting and where artists got also very excited. It's the idea of adding layers of meanings to works that usually are in pristine boxes or never touched. So what it means if an abstract work all of a sudden has a physical function, what it means, there's also like a sense of irony in this.
Most excellent. Now, of course, when we think of a cat burglar, we usually think of like these young people breaking into places. Willem Dafoe is something quite opposite.
He's young in soul. He's young in soul, man. Which makes him eternal.
I can tell you he's much fitter than me. Like, by far.
I was gonna say, why not younger? Why was he perfect?
Yeah.
I think he was perfect because for me also it should be like giving away something like his last heist. So that would make it really more important
As a task.
as a task. But
Yeah.
I never developing the film. I never put an age on my hero because I never put an age on my hero, and I never put a backstory on my hero. That's really important. Nemo doesn't have a backstory. We don't. I never need, and I didn't want any backstory. I mean, if he has a family, if he has a girlfriend, if
If somebody's missing
if
him,
somebody's missing him, for me, the important is that through Nemo, you, the audience, every one of us are experiencing what's going on. So
I mean, it's one of the things that we questioned ourselves, that somebody might say, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, this is maybe, your actor might be, older than it's supposed to be. So I have two things to say. First of all, I loved when Sean Connery did the heist film, you remember, with
the blackmail.
I don't remember the title, but it was so beautiful to see, an eighth man doing that. Entrapment, maybe, yes. And the second thing is that, we're talking about an art thief. So he's not like somebody who don't understand the value. I mean, if you want to be an art thief, you need to understand value things. You get in a place, you need to be able to know what is valuable, what is not valuable. You need to know how you take it and what you take. And somehow Willem was offering the best face you could imagine, a physicality that goes beyond his age, because I can tell you, you see in the film, he acts, his body is really young. And the most important of all, he has a physique that it's so unique that he looks like a sculpture. I mean, if you see him when at the end of the film, when he's kind of, almost without clothes,
he's a work of art by
he's a work of art by himself. So you have a human creature, which is, it's maybe one of the most pristine creations of God, or who is bringing us to life. So it's.
But you can see in this face, you can see stories.
So it gives so much more than somebody might think, about the age, that for us it was.
Can I also add something from a let's say from a contemporary art perspective? I mean, Willem Dafoe represents in many ways he has worked in contemporary art. He has collaborated with Marina Abramovic. He has collaborated with other artists. He has a long history, of course, of theater, acting. So in my case, for example, if I had a different protagonist, maybe like a young star of, I don't want to say names, of course, my work would have been a lot more difficult. Willem is a reference for authorship acting and authorship artistic cinema, and so this called for the same approach also in the art collection.
Most excellent. Well, gentlemen, I could talk to you guys for hours about this movie and construct and deconstruct back and forth, but alas, we eventually have to end this conversation. So thank you very much for carrying this conversation with us. And I have to remark, picking Macarena as a song for the fridge was just pure artful genius. I could not get that song out of my head after watching this film. So thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Thank you.